In recent years in the beauty industry, retinol has become a very trendy ingredient, but retinol really goes back more than a generation. It originally started in the medical field as well. And there are gentle types of retinol and very potent, effective types of retinol. So if you're looking at an ingredient that's maybe got natural oils and natural vitamin A in, that doesn't give such a strong result. That's more to me of a moisturizing, supple making result and actually keeping the skin healthy. True retinols are actually where you get the scientific level, the scientific percentage of retinols, and you can go into retinol actually on prescription basis of higher percentages too. Now, let's go back to what retinol actually does and the reason that it is revered in the beauty industry, but it's not to say it'll suit you. It's not to say that it will suit everyone, because as a qualified beauty expert as well, and also as an industry spokesperson, every ingredient does not suit everyone. So what retinol will actually do on the skin, and the reason that it was designed and the reason that it was first tested as well, is that it actually works down to the basal level of the skin. So the epidermis has got, several layers deep, and it goes down to the lowest layer, which is the reproductive layer. And that's where mitotic division actually happens. So basal layer divides and makes 2 cells, then it divides again and makes 4 cells, it divides again, and so on, till you get the millions of skin cells on the surface. Now, what retinol has been proven to actually do is increase the mitotic division of the basal cell. So it actually speeds up skin renewal at the lowest level in the epidermis. And that's where brands will actually use it as an anti-aging ingredient. And it's used in a couple of different ways, because speeding up that basal cell mitotic division, or the basal cell reproduction, brings newer skin to the surface quicker and faster. Now, aging skin slows down basal cells, and basal cells can then have reproductive element of when you're young, 26, 28 days. When you're old, it can actually go to 30s and sometimes slower in the skin, especially in different parts of the skin, or skin that has been damaged, or where the sun's rays have reached the basal cell, changed its structure slightly, and that basal cell no longer produces as quickly or as efficiently as what it used to do. Now, it'll have a couple of different results. Some people like to use retinols actually on very problematic skin, which is sort of one of the reasons that it was first made, where medical research would actually use it on very problematic, very spotty, very acne skin underneath medical circumstances to actually almost flush the skin out, to get the skin so reproducing so quickly to flush oils out. That's not a way that I like to use it from a beauty point of view, and certainly if you wanted to do it that way, I would recommend that you actually consulted a physician and actually consulted a medical grade retinol and were taken through using that, because they'd often use it in a triptych manner and use it in different concentrations across different periods of time to see what suited your skin. For me, retinol is about an anti-aging ingredient, but because it is stimulating, and it's stimulating basal cell, then it's actually also an aggressive ingredient. So it's stimulating, it's effective, it's potent, it's aggressive. If you've got sensitive or eczema prone or allergy prone skin or flare up skin now, don't use retinol. If you are just a countdown to a special occasion or to a wedding, don't use retinol. You're running a risk of actually having a reaction. There are gentler versions of retinol as well, lower percentages, or brands that don't say their percentage. That normally means it's a lower percentage. And it can be buffered as well and wrapped around with hyaluronic or natural oils or mixed into moisturizing agents, but always test patch. And if you find that after a period of time, maybe a few days or a few weeks, you start to get little pimples or redness onto the surface of the skin, then actually use the product less. So actually then a lot would come back down to just using it every other night. That can be a gentler way, because each person will have a different way of their skin reacting to the retinol. And the older you are, the thicker your skin, the more sun damaged you are, then possibly the greater result you may get if you don't have any sensitivity. And if you've used a lot of maybe plant-based ingredients and had a great beauty regime but never used retinol, then retinol can give that change, that difference in the skin, and give you that different result on the surface. But words of warning, use retinol on a nighttime, don't use it in the daytime. Always use a sunscreen in the daytime. Don't use it on holiday, don't use it on inflamed skin, don't use it after sun exposure. So it is a product that is actually best left for the cooler months of the year, and be very wary now in this country with the heats and the sun levels that we're having, be very wary of using them in the summer with any form of sun exposure.